Come on in, come on in. I hope that y'all are well. Happy Wednesday. Come on in, come on in, come on in. And put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me clearly. Put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me clearly. I'll send this out. That's why I'm squinting because I don't have my glasses on. Let's see. Make sure I'm sending this out. Hi, Shamika. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Share this with another amazing woman leader because, y'all, this is not going to be a motivational live. Y'all know I really don't do those anyway, but this is definitely not going to be a motivational live. This is going to be a live that where you get confronted. Okay, so share this with another amazing, powerful woman because we're going to have a conversation today. We're going to confront the part of yourself that you keep circling. Okay, you keep circling clarity, but you never seem to get it. So we're going to get it today. All right. So what we're talking about is that you don't feel safe to take up space. Okay. And I'm going to tell you the real reason why. And I'm going to tell you what it's costing you. So share this with an amazing woman. Let me put this on warm. I like this, have heated blankets and things around me. Especially during certain times of the month. Y'all get it. So, to keep me warm. So if you see me adjusting, that's what I'm doing. Adjusting for warm. Okay. So put a 1 in the comments to make sure that I can hear you or that you can hear me clearly before we get into today's topic because it's a pretty serious topic, to be honest. So like I said, this is not going to be, if you're looking for motivation, I'm not her. That's first and foremost. A lot of women kind of come and say that they feel like I empower them or I do women empowerment or I speak women empowerment. I have to honestly disagree. I have to wholeheartedly disagree. And if you've been following me since 2022, you'll know one of the things that I'll say is that I hate women empowerment. Absolutely hate it. Do you hear me? Hate it. I don't empower women. I disempower the illusions and the beliefs and the systems and the things that women have submitted themselves to. I disempower your beliefs and your connections to those things. Hey, Coach Danielle, girl. Like, I help you disempower from those things. I don't empower you. The reality of the situation is I disempower you from these systems and from these beliefs and from these distorted illusions. And what that does is that empowers you to do something different because you have a choice to make at that point. It's kind of like when you find out if you don't change your eating habits, this is going to happen. You have a choice to make. Yeah, it gets like that. And the choices you make when you come to work with me are going to impact your life and the lives of those who are coming after you. So, like I said, today we're going to dive into it. This is not motivational. I'm not here to motivate you. I'm here to get you to think and to start asking questions, and most importantly, to start making real decisions. And if I happen to be the one that can support you in removing those blocks so that you can make those decisions, then you know where to find me because the link is in the bio. There are a multitude of ways for you to be able to connect with me. If you would like to connect with me and you would like to read more, because a lot of you have been asking me lately, how do you know all of the things you know spiritually? I'm going to start talking, well, I'm talking more about that on Substack. And I can't remember, but someone was telling me, they was like, you should get on Substack. And I was like, I don't know, get on Substack. I love Substack. So if you really want to know written knowledge, sacred things around the feminine, then sign up for the Red Knowledge Tree. The Red Knowledge Tree has paid tiers to it. There's a free option. There's a paid option. Yes, you do get more with the paid option if you are ready to implement something. Okay, so that's one way to be able to access me in that space. So, because I'm giving you a lot of information, and I wouldn't even say information. I would say I'm giving out a lot of wisdom and a lot of things that need to come up because we have to get down to the root of things. That's where we are now in society. All this fluff from 2020 when everybody was putting out lifestyle content. This is why people don't understand that lifestyle content is not working. People are not buying into that. They're not falling for that because people want real solutions. Hi, Lovey. People want real solutions. People are tired of looking at you living a certain kind of life. How can you help them get to the next level? Or how can you help them quantum jump? How can you help them solve their problem? How can you help them? How can you do something for them? This is what your audience is looking for. They're not looking to see what your life is hitting for. They want to know how to make different decisions because the truth is they have been trained. The way that they operate has come from nervous system training and mind programming that has started in your household, that happened from society, that happens in friend groups, that happens on with media. And people are tired of being programmed. They're ready to wake up and come into a space of something real. And the only thing that I know that is real, that I have been able to support my clients with, is you being able to connect and come back to yourself. Because a lot of women are walking around here as shells of themselves. Okay? You are literally a shell of yourself. And you need to get back connected with your core so that you can start showing up, so that you can start taking up the spaces that you need to take up, and you can remove yourself from the spaces that you never belonged in the first place, that you were trying so hard to make yourself fit into. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Elle Antoinette. I am an energetics and identity mentor, and what I do specifically is I support my amazing clients who are powerful women. I support them in regulating their emotions and mastering their emotions so that they can literally get into the space of attracting, leading, okay, getting success, intimacy, and all of these things from their energy, from energetic alignment, not from them trying to work hard for it, okay? Because a lot of women try to work hard to be able to obtain things, and it just doesn't work. This is coming from someone who has 2 degrees, bachelor's and master's. I've done some doctoral work, and none of those things ever served me. I'm the oldest daughter. I have always been the one to be there for everybody. Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes, and these comments. I've always been the one to be the backbone and to be this and be that until my life crashed. Until I had that spiritual awakening with the Most High, and I had to make hard decisions. The hard decisions like sticking to your boundaries. See, y'all really not villains. See, villains aren't afraid to be villainized by people. You're still afraid of what someone is going to think if you tell them no. And the reason why you feel like that is because you don't say no enough. See, people who have a problem with the word no are people who do not say no enough. So you think it's okay to run yourself into the ground, therefore other people should run themselves into the ground as well. I don't think so. But see, this is what happens when you are not operating from the fullness of your identity. Well, what exactly does an energetics and identity mentor do? I help you understand the truth around your energetics, which is going to shift your identity, which is going to put you in position to receive. And do you understand what alignment is? Being in position to receive. If you were to think about alignment as I'll use an analogy that I always use, which is the catcher on the baseball team. The catcher has to be at the right place at the right time with the right material, doing the right thing. Huh? Because some of y'all are at the right place at the right time with the wrong material, doing the right thing. All of those things have to be in order to catch the ball. Because that requires you to be in alignment. You have to be in your proper positioning. And you can't be in your proper positioning when any of those things are off. So when we talk about why it's important for you to be secure in your identity. And why identity matters in this society is because, let me tell you something about women, because that is my primary population that I work with. That is the population that I work with. Let me tell you something about women that women don't understand. When you are not rooted in the truth of your identity, what happens is that society is going to force you to choose an identity in order to assimilate, because you want friends, don't you? You want community, don't you? You want people around you, don't you? That's what it is. So you're either going to have to be yourself or pretend to be somebody else. You're going to have to choose an identity, almost as if you are choosing a character in a game. The problem with choosing a character that's not authentically who you are is that you cannot keep that up. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable, which is why a lot of women end up having nervous breakdowns or crash outs, because you can no longer hold up the image as if everything is okay. This is why the act of the cool girl with men always fails, because you're really not that cool. You really want that attention. You really are clingy. You really are this. You really are that. But you're playing a role. And when it gets to the point, nice girl, because nice girls always finish last, because nice girls are being fake. Because niceness is a state. However, kindness is a heart posture. Two different things. Not even two sides of the same coin. And when you are operating as the nice girl or the cool girl, and when you don't get what you want, then you want to crash out, then you want to snap, then you want to have all these things going on, then somebody play with you. But nobody can play you without your permission, your participation, or the fact that you simply are not paying attention. Nobody. Thank you, my love, for these likes and these gifts. Nobody. Right, just playing a role. Fake energy. And let me tell you something about trying to fake energy. You can't, because guess what? Men lie, women lie. Numbers can be crunched and data can be skewed. But your energy will always tell the truth on you. Don't you ever forget that. Energy cannot be destroyed or masked. It can only be transferred, sweetie. Y'all always want to play. Y'all want to play men. I've never seen a society of women so obsessed with trying to play mind games with people when you don't understand the spiritual consequences that come behind those things. See, all the tips and the tricks that you're trying to utilize to manipulate people into getting things that honestly you have within you that you really don't have to manipulate to get, when you try to do that, you cause yourself harm. You cause yourself harm. Y'all really need to stop playing mind games when you don't understand the severity of spiritual consequences. And just because you decide that you're not participating in the spiritual aspect of this experience, of this life experience, does not mean that the spiritual experience is not active. Because you are a spirit being having a human experience. And a lot of your human experiences that are not favorable, that seem like they just are in a continuous cycle, is letting you know that there's a spiritual root to that problem. So when we talk about energetics and we talking about identity in this world, you need to understand the power of your energy. And you also need to understand who you are, because if you know who you are, you're going to always be in the proper position. The problem is why you can't receive is because you are not in the proper position. And you can't do that if you don't know your job, if you don't even know what position you play. It's not clicking. It's not clicking. And because of that, you're not taking up space. Thank you, my love, for these likes, these comments. Okay, and these gifts. So let's get into the truth of you don't feel safe taking up space, and here's the reason why, and what it's really costing you. I'm going to get to the root of why high capacity women, discerning women who say that they're discerning, you feel with the Holy Ghost, y'all be lying. Y'all be lying. And then y'all be wondering why you attract liars. You are not discerning. You are in your feelings. See, discernment has absolutely nothing to do with your feelings. Okay? That's wisdom. Has nothing to do with your feelings at all. Hi, Lovey. So tonight, like I said, today, I'm sorry, I'm saying tonight because I did a live the other night. Today we're getting to the root of that. We're getting to the root of why high capacity women, discerning women, like you all, a lot of you who are on this live, you still feel like you're disappearing. This is exactly what we're going to cover. I'm going to talk about why you don't feel comfortable taking up space. I'm going to talk about what spiritual law you're violating every single time that you delay your joy based on whether it's somebody else's availability or whatever the case. I'm getting into how you violating. I'm talking about the truth of what's happening in the world right now and the exact places that I have available for you, that I've built for you to walk out of that survival mode. Okay? So we need to come into rhythm. You only have 6 months. And I'm trying to say something without saying something because y'all know I say certain things. You only have 6 months, y'all. And I'm not just talking about until 2026. You have about 6 months to make some real decisions. And I'm not even kidding around. And the decisions you make, they need to be setting you up. Some people are saying for the next 5. Some people are saying for the next 10. What I'm telling you is set them up for the next 20. And I'm not playing around. You feel it a little bit, but you finna see some stuff in a minute. So get yourself in order. Get yourself in order. Especially if you are being told to do certain things. Get yourself in order. And one of the things y'all better start doing is taking up space. Because this ain't the time to hide. This is the time to stand in the fullness of what it is you're supposed to be doing, because your people are looking for you. And see, what y'all not missing is, for the last 5 years, people have been missing connection. They've been missing community. And they've been waiting on people to rise up so they can find their people. And you being quiet. You not taking up space. And you gonna miss it. You are going to miss it. And you ain't gonna have nobody but to blame but yourself. Because I know I'm one of the creators that's been telling y'all for at least the last 2 years what's up. And you've been seeing this stuff happen over and over again. I'm telling you it's 6 months. I'm telling you. You don't have time to play. I was trying to, she was saying, I will no longer stop until my people find me, period. Period. That's what y'all better be on. What was the word of the year? I told y'all in January. I said, what's the word of the year? The word of the year, y'all, is community. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. I told y'all in January. I told y'all, get rid of them folks who ain't right. Find the right people by putting yourself in position. I gave you a whole rundown. You got 6 months. You got 6 months. And you should be building with that community, really figuring something out. But being scared, not taking up space, please. So let's go ahead and get into it. A lot of you have mastered being the one who gets it done. Because a lot of you are the one who gets it done in your family, the capable one, the strong one. But quietly, you really feel invisible. You feel like nobody really sees you. That's the truth. And it's because you built a life around being needed, not being known. You built a life around being needed, not being known. And every time your body is saying, okay, I'm tired, I need a break, you literally will override it. And then you call it strength. You call it pushing it through. When it's really emotional abandonment. Let's get into it. See, a lot of y'all are wondering why women are sick in the womb. It's because you suppress your feelings. Women should be able to do 3 things if she is in her feminine. She should be able to receive, release, and reject. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and even physically. She should be able to receive, release, and reject. If I meet a woman who struggles to receive, I automatically know that she struggles to release. You struggle to release things. You struggle to let things go. You hold on to things too much, which is why you can't let go. Even though you take off all your clothes for these men, But you're never really naked for real. That you're never that. Imagine having to continuously spend a life of practicing and rolling around in the bed with somebody, having your clothes off and still not being naked enough for you to be able to release, because you struggle to release and you struggle to release. A feminine woman should be able to release, receive, and reject. And because you can't receive, you don't allow yourself to receive, you do not release. I know that you don't release, which means that you do not reject. You basically take any and almost everything that is offered to you because there is no standard. There is no standard. Like absolutely none. So you find yourself overriding what your body is saying that it needs, which is rest. And you push through that and you call yourself strong and keeping it going and hustling or whatever else you want to call it, when it's really just emotional abandonment. It's emotional abandonment. And so I'm going to get into the laws, a few laws, because like I tell you, everything that you are experiencing in the 3D, everything you're experiencing on earth, these things have a spiritual root to it. And because we don't understand spiritual law, what do I always say? If a woman wants to thrive in this world and have a quality life, 3 things must happen for her. She must study and understand spiritual law. For me, that looks like scripture. How do my clients make more money from working with me? How do my clients get healthier working with me? How do my clients attract better community and partners working with me? We work on their energetics. We get to the root of these things. We get down to the bottom of spiritual law. You can't create a new reality. You didn't create this one. So how you going to manifest a new? Y'all got to stop listening to these people who don't tell you the full truth. They're not even telling y'all the full truth about manifestation, which is why a lot of you are manifesting monstrosities of a mess in your life. And it's because you're listening to half-truths. There's manifesting something and there's sustaining something. That's not the same thing. That's not the same thing. Anybody can manifest anything. You're manifesting every single thing in your life. What you see in your life right now, if you're not digging it, if you don't like it, these are things that you've manifested because you always meet yourself. And don't you dare say, I don't know why I keep attracting X, Y, Z. You only meet yourself. And if you don't recognize yourself when you see that other person, you ain't doing enough work on you, because you always meet yourself. Every single time. And I know we like to overlook that and we try to think that, I'm this and I'm a good person. If you're such a good person, then why are you not good to yourself? And why is goodness not a reflection to you? Because goodness is a fruit of the Spirit. It's a fruit of the Spirit. So why is goodness not finding you? Where is the goodness within yourself? But again, when you grow up in society that teaches you morality on certain things, you think if you morally follow certain things, you're a good girl. You grew up as a good Christian girl. You're a good girl. You follow the rules. You're a good girl. When in reality, you're not really a good girl. Because you're not good to yourself. And it literally tells you in the very scripture that you so-called trained yourself on, but you really are not tapped into. It tells you in that scripture that you are to love your neighbor as you love yourself. That is considered to be basically like one of the highest commandments. So make it make sense to me how you love somebody more than you love yourself. That's programming. Haha. Where did you learn that? Because spiritually, that's not according to your design. So let's go ahead and get into the first law that you violating. You violating the law of design. Which the second thing, the first thing I said that women should need to thrive is to understand spiritual law, scriptural law. The second thing you need to understand is the science of yourself, which is why you continue to violate your own design. See, if you understand the science of yourself, you'd understand that you're a spirit being having a human experience. So if we're having a problem in the human experience, we need to check the spiritual experience. We need to check the spiritual experience. When is the last time you tapped into that? See, when you don't tap into that, you have a very difficult human experience. You have a very difficult human experience. Because you are living in a space that you didn't create. You are living in a society you didn't create. You are living in a world you didn't create. And you submit to nothing. You submit to nothing and no one. You are lost. Literally, you wake up every single day walking outside in these landmines that you can't even see. You are lost. So of course your experience is difficult. Of course it is. But when you understand the design of yourself, starting with understanding that you are a spirit being having a human experience, that shifts things. If you understand the second aspect of this law, which is you are fearfully and wonderfully made, according to Psalm 139:14, then you understand that when a person says to you that you are ugly, it's untrue because you have a truth to compare it to, because you are a spirit being first, having a human experience. So when someone says, oh, I think that you are ugly, it makes absolutely no sense to me. It makes no sense to me, number one, because you don't know truth, which means you don't know you. You haven't met yourself. So, of course, you don't see the beauty in me. You ain't met you. See, y'all be getting caught up because you don't know truth. That's how people play with your mind. Now you under the spell thinking that you are ugly and you're this. Psalm 139:14. So the thing is, that's why it's important to understand your identity. When you understand your identity and you understand that you're beautifully and wonderfully made, what is it getting upset with a person when they call you ugly? They don't know themselves. They have not met themselves. They have not met the beauty within themselves, which lets me know they haven't gone and dealt with the ugly of themselves. Because see, when you really doing that work, when you really doing that inner work, you recognize the ugly in yourself as well as the beauty in yourself. If all you see is the light and the beauty, I'm a good person, I'm a good girl, I'm a good Christian, you're a liar. The scripture says you're a liar because it literally says that the heart is deceitful. Get into it. What lie? Who are you playing with? Who are you playing with? Only yourself. Only yourself. And this is why you continue to get played. Why? Because nobody can play you without your permission. Check. Your participation. Check. Or you're not paying attention. Check. But if you don't pay attention to yourself, if you don't know your identities, of course you will give permission and participate in things that position you to get played. That person didn't play you. You played yourself because you weren't paying attention to you, to what you needed, to what was important to you, your values. You were too busy worrying about them. Sheesh. This is why I say that women, if you want to create a new reality, you need to understand spiritual law. And I'm not talking about the tradition that you were taught in your churches. I'm talking about you being tapped into the kingdom of heaven within, according to Luke 17:21, which requires real relationship, which requires you to wreck the religion that you've been raised in and ask questions. Ask questions. How you let a society trick you into telling you not to ask them, not to question the Most High when the Most High says, seek and ye shall find. Literally tells you that if you want the desires of your heart, to seek ye first the kingdom and its righteousness and everything else to be added unto you. What do you mean don't question? See, it's not making sense. And because you don't question, you don't even see how qualified you are to step into certain spaces, and you don't step into those spaces, and you don't take up space, and you play yourself. You play yourself out of your own positioning. Crazy work. All because you violate the law of design, according to Psalm 139:14. Every time you override your limits to be digestible for somebody else. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes and these comments. Okay? Every time you override your limits to be digestible, you reject the original blueprint. I'm going to say that again. Every single time you override your limits to be digestible, you reject the original blueprint. You reject yourself. And you wonder why people reject you? You are a reflection of your own mirror. What do you mean? What do you mean? You don't know yourself. You haven't met yourself. You weren't designed to survive off scraps. You were designed to lead in wholeness, but survival has literally become your identity. Again, women who are not rooted in the truth of their identity have to choose an identity to assimilate into this society. And when you assimilate, you choose an identity and you assimilate in this society. That's how you survive, little Miss Cold Switch. Don't get me started. Because see, a lot of you like to think that you are so high and mighty. When you are the same one you talk about, you are the same. Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these shares, and these follows, and these likes. You are the same. In violation of your design. Oh, and I'm going to tell you like this. If you are violating the law of design, let me put you on game. And I stand on this, I live on this, and I'll die on this hill. That's how strong I feel about it. A woman who will violate herself has no problem violating you. A woman who has no problem violating herself will always violate you. A woman who has no problem going against herself, you are nothing for her to go against too. Whether she realizes it or not, because subconsciously that is a pattern. So why do you think that you are exempt from the experience that a person gives themselves? Why do you believe that? Because people treat you better than they treat themselves. Be very afraid of the naked man who gives you a shirt. Be very afraid of the naked man who gives you a shirt. African proverb. Because why don't you have a shirt on? But you so happy to get a shirt. Nobody's ever given you a shirt. Oh my God, it's a shirt. It's a shirt. It's a shirt, everybody. We have a shirt. We have a shirt. We're not paying attention to the fact that this individual doesn't have on the shirt. That makes sense that they would give you a shirt and not have one on? Makes no sense to me. This is why, and this is kind of what we go over, not kind of, but this is what we go over and why I created the Muse Activator. The Muse Activator is an 8-week sacred recalibration for women who are tired of pretending that they're okay and they're good and performing. It's where we restore nervous systems, the safety of it. We rebuild your emotional rhythm so your leadership doesn't cost you your life. Do you understand how many people are sick at the top? Baby, I had a client telling me how her whole C-suite had to get their wombs removed. The whole C-suite? Everybody's sick in the womb at this job? See, pay attention to the patterns. Pay attention to the patterns. This society cares nothing about you. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that's what my clients walk into the Muse Activator and they activate their inner muse, because guess what? Muse is, by definition, a muse is a source of inspiration. We are literally walking art. You inspire people. This is why it's so easy with content creation to create content or get hype in that, because people want to invest in art. People want to invest in art. So when you activate your inner muse, you inspire people to invest. Invest what? Investigate first. Number one, they want to know more about you. Number two, they're very intrigued. Number three, they're very interested. So they're going to inquire. And all of this came from your essence. You just simply inspiring that. You simply inspiring that. That's what happens in the Muse Activator. But that requires you to honor the law of design. If you're not going to honor your design, you're not going to honor anything else. Your relationship with self sets the tone with your relationship with everything and everyone else. Let me tell you something. The women who have issues with impulsive eating are the same women who deal with issues, impulsivity around their money. And it's the same women that deal with issues with impulsivity with men. Because there's a connection between your meals, your money, and men. You just ain't caught the pattern yet. You just ain't caught the pattern yet. But it tells a story. Because how you do one thing, sweetheart, is how you do all things. Whether you realize it or not. Men are not going to tell you that you're too impulsive, that you move too quickly. They're going to let you sell yourself short because men are always looking for a deal. Don't you know how the masculine operates? They're always looking for a deal because they feel like they have it so hard. So they're always looking for a break. Better start paying attention. Better start paying attention to the pattern that you have with yourself. A lot of you are out here claiming that you're so faithful and you're so this because you're staying small and, but every time you say yes when you really mean no, or you overgive to avoid being rejected, you are not being spiritual. You are not being Christian. You are breaking agreement with your own assignment. Who told you to pick up somebody else's slack and do somebody else's work? Who told you had to be the one to come in and fix everything? Who are you? Why are you trying to fix humans that you didn't create? And you didn't even create your children if we want to really get into it, because your children were formed in your womb. Good evening and good night. They came here with their own assignment. You're the vessel. You're the one with the rod guiding. You understand? A rod is for guiding. I know y'all like to take and think the rod is just for beating. You understand? The rod means that this is the leader. This is the one in charge. This is the one we follow. You understand that, right? It is your portal that baby came through into this realm. But even with that, you can't fix them. It's not your job. So why are you trying to fix adults that you didn't create? Do you understand how insulting that is to the creator of all things? Do you understand how insulting that is to the Most High for you to open your mouth and say, I can fix somebody? How you gonna fix what somebody else made? How you gonna fix something that you don't know the innermost? How dare you? And then you get mad when you get played and they don't want you after you fix them. Hello. Why are we fixing stuff that don't belong to us? We're not going to take no accountability. We just going to blame him from taking. Let me tell you something. You better start understanding. See, going back to understanding the science of yourself, when you understand your feminine science, you will understand masculine science, and you'll understand how men operate, and you will accept men for who they are if you are choosing to deal with men. And you are also going to accept how the core nature of how most women are, and you decide which ones you're going to deal with in that space. Because at core, women are manipulative, and at core, men are exploiters. When it speaks about in scripture how your heart is deceitful, that is what it's talking about. If you leave an open field for a man and you have no boundaries, he gonna run the field on you every time. You expect him to have morality, you need to grow up. And I'm sick of y'all walking around the world expecting the world to be fair. Half of these people in the world are hell. They hell on wheels, the majority of them. It's your job to discern who's supposed to be there and who is not. It's your job to know who you are, to understand what you are supposed to be enduring and what you are not. That's your position. Stop putting that on other people. To whom much is given, much is required. And you were given a lot when you got here. So you better do what you're supposed to do when it comes down to you. I know that. Why you worried about how somebody else is treating you? You worry about how somebody else is treating you. You ain't even treating yourself well. Please, miss me with that foolishness. Breaking your own agreement to your assignment. And let me fix them. Fix your life, Ayanla. You. And I'm not talking about Ayanla, Lord. I don't want to get sued. I'm just, Fix your life. That's what you're here to do. You here to close the gaps in the loops within your life and your lineage. You worried about the wrong thing. You interfering with somebody else's bloodline that you ain't even joined. You understand? You haven't even entered into covenant into the bloodline, and you interfering trying to fix them. Who are you? And you ain't even spiritually equipped to deal with them type of demons. You only want to deal with yours. Stop. It has got to stop. You got 6 months, and I ain't talking about until 2026. You got 6 months to make some real decisions, because decisions are being made for you. And you need to wake up. Playing small, talking about you being faithful. I'm just waiting on God. Shut up. Y'all be lying on the Most High so tough. Lying so tough. Tell the truth, you scary. Tell the truth, you scary. Tell the truth, you scared of what you gonna lose. You scared you're gonna mess it up. You scared of all these things when it literally tells you in scripture that the Most High hasn't given you the spirit of fear. So where you get it from? You let somebody transfer that energy into you. Good evening and good night. Where did it come from? Where did that program come from? Was it media? Was it your mama? Where it come from? Was it your man? What happened? What I miss? Let's get into the space of talking about the second law that we're in violation of when you're in a space to where you don't want to take up space. You just want to. The law of agreement. The law of agreement is rooted in Amos 3:3, where it talks about how can two walk together unless they agree. The root of issues in most people is misaligned energetics internally. We have beliefs, we have the head wanting to do one thing. We having the heart energy wanting to do something else. And we having the willpower either having the capacity or not having the capability for some reason to execute. So we have a lot of misalignment. We can't get none done. The soul is off track. Because the soul is comprised of the mindset, the heart set, and your willpower, sweetheart. This is why when you sign contracts to work at 9 to 5s, they are soul contracts. You want to know how they are soul contracts? I'll tell you how. They're soul contracts because they are taxing on your mindset, your heart set. Because anytime you allow a 9 to 5 to get you in your feelings, you allow an experience of that to get you in your feelings, they're now playing on your heart set, which impacts your willpower, which is your execution. And you got to execute to be on that job. So yes, they tax on your soul to meet their goals. How long you going to let them do it? See, when you find that out, now you got to start asking yourself, how long I'm going to let them do this? Because do you understand that the corporate system was set up for people who lack spiritual rooting and structure? Because the people who lack spiritual rooting and structure would be disconnected from the information and the wisdom of Proverbs 8 and 12, which says that you have creative and witty inventions in your very being. If you actually believe that and you really examined yourself and you sought out the kingdom of heaven and those things were revealed to you, then you would realize that you could change your reality a whole lot quicker than submitting your soul under contract for 40 years for a corporate system. Hello? They ran a great trickaroo on us. They got us so good. They got us really good. Because that was not the assignment. That was not the assignment. The assignment was not that. And so because of that, you wonder why you're in spaces where you're trying to advocate, like being in a 9 to 5 trying to advocate for them to care about y'all is crazy. Because the whole system was built on not caring about you. The business is being built on your back. You're the money. They made you the crazy. Imagine being the money and working hard for the money. Imagine being the money. It's not funny, but it's funny. When you really start, it's not funny, but it is funny. Nice try. That was good. I'm not even gonna lie. Y'all did. That was some real life trickery, sorcery. Y'all are masterful. Y'all are masterful at what y'all created here. They definitely did a big one. Because imagine being the money, but then being tricked into working hard for the money. Right? So, Bria, send me a DM. So, when you realize that you are the money, as in really you are the value, because money itself has no value. If you can look it up on Google if you want to, but money is made of 75% cotton and 25% linen. So imagine unaliving your brother for cotton. It's giving back on the plantation. It's giving back on the plantation. We knocking each other down for cotton. While these corporations have created systems to understanding that if they allow entry-level positions, the workhorses to be on the bottom, that they can still do well on the top. See, this is why at a lot of these corporations too, right? What they'll do is while you're sitting at the bottom of those entry levels, especially if you look like me, they'll position you with an overseer that looks like you. And they'll keep her in the middle. And the reason why they keep her in the middle is because they want her to feel a sense of power, and they want the people to still be oppressed, but they want you to be oppressed by somebody that looks like you. And they never absolutely move that woman from the middle, so she's always frustrated. She's always got a nasty attitude. She never seems to have herself together because she is stuck in the middle. And she has realized that it's a gimmick in the game. This is why I always tell women all the time, don't get too hyped up when you find that they position you to that middle management. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. I'm telling you, it's some of the finest sorcery I've ever witnessed. We are watching true masters of occult knowledge at work. We just don't know nothing. And you don't even have to use their tools to get the knowledge. You won't even really read the scripture because you allow somebody to twist it into a form that makes you feel like you can't trust it. When the truth is, you were putting people on these pedestals who said that they were representatives of this truth when they really were just preaching text. Preaching text to keep you small in your mind and in your thinking, so you would continue to violate the law of agreement. You say you want clarity, but your habits are built on confusion. You say you want peace, but you're walking in fear. Make it make sense. That's spiritual contradiction, sweetheart. You are not. You are violating the law of agreement. And that's why you stay stuck. But on team, I just gave you a gift. You have to understand these things. See, this is why, let's go back to it again. Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes, and these comments. This is why women, if you want to thrive and have a great quality of life, you need to be rooted and understand spiritual law. For me, that looks like scripture. Hey, I'm not telling nobody to do nothing I want. I'm just telling for me that looks like scripture. I have used this format that I'm telling you, being rooted in scriptural law, understanding the science of myself, studying the psychology of my lineage has supported me in doing the following. Creating a multi-six-figure business. This is my second business. My first one, I was hustling. I was hell on wheels. And I also used to be 100% heavier, 100 pounds heavier. Yep, I used to be 100 pounds heavier. So this system helped me bring that down. I used to attract terrible men into my life and my space, and I didn't have any boundaries, and I didn't know how to, get away from them and all that. And I attract amazing dating experiences and amazing men into my space who honor and respect me. And I've been able to help hundreds of women be able to do the same. So this is what obedience looks like for me. I can't imagine what obedience will look like for you. Obedience for my client Rocky looked like her shifting her energetics so that she went from making $250 on a service to literally making up to almost $15,000 in offers in less than 30 days after we had one session. So when I say I'm an energetics and identity mentor, I bring you back to yourself. I don't teach you how to be feminine. You are feminine by design. I activate what is already within you by inviting you to come back and be initiated into the space of owning the fullness of yourself. Those are the type of women that come to see me. So that's why they go from 5 figures to 6 figures, 6 figures to multi-6 figures, why they attract better partners, why they get healthier. I have clients who have come to me who have had heart issues, had to reverse heart damage. We reverse heart damage, reverse liver damage, A1C issues, got them together. The highest amount that one of my clients has lost, I think, is at 70 pounds. The lowest one right now, I think, is 20 pounds. And she just started with me this year. I'm not a weight loss coach. I'm not a money coach. I'm not none of those things. What I do, though, where my gifts lie, is in getting to the root of the truth. Hey, lovey. getting to the root of the truth of who you are and bringing you back into that space. Because that is where your wins are. That is where the desires of your heart is. That is how you are able to sustain the things that you say that you want. You got to go there. And if you ain't ready to go there, I'm not the one for you. Because we going there. But going there is what gets you there. And when you get there, you know how to govern yourself, which is the biggest thing about this whole space, is being able to govern yourself. See, we gonna go there, and then you gonna get there, and you gonna know how to govern yourself to stay there, because that's what it becomes then. That's what it becomes then. Y'all save y'all questions for me. I'm gonna answer in just a second. Give me a minute, okay? So, you're in violation of the law of agreement. Habits are built on confusion. You say you want clarity. You say you want peace, but you're moving in fear. You are a walking contradiction to yourself. You violate yourself, which invites other people to violate you. Confusion attracts confusion. Huh? Thank you, my love, for these gifts. Confusion attracts confusion. If you are confused, hey, my love, if you are confused, everyone else is going to be confused. If you are clear, everybody else is going to be clear. How do we know this? Because everybody know that one person not to play with, and you might be that person. Everybody know that one person in their life. If they ain't the person, there's one person. Do not play with them. They are very clear that that individual is not the one to play with. Good evening and good night. So you got to come into that. And so some of you think you have a money problem, right? But reality, you have a capacity problem. I tell women all the time, they're like, I want to make more money. Scratch that. Wrong one. Wrong one. I want to make more money. Scratch that. No, you don't. What you desire is to position yourself to receive more money. See, women already stress themselves out before stuff even happened. And this is why, again, women have to be very careful what they take in. Because what you take in programs you and you adapt to that reality. You don't have to just watch what you take in. You need to watch what you take in. You need to watch what you take in. You need to watch what you take in, Little Miss Nurturer. You need to watch what you take in. Because what you take into your environment, you eventually adapt to. That is how we are. We receive energy and we multiply that energy and we magnify that energy. Watch what you take in. I can't stress that enough. Because if you take the wrong thing in, when the right things come, guess what? You don't have the capacity. You don't have the capacity. Okay? So like I said, some of you think that you got a money problem when really you have a capacity problem. You might be, if you have business, if you're operating in business, which the majority of my clients are, you are undercharging, you're discounting, you're dreading visibility, and it's all because your nervous system is in survival around being seen and paid. And that's why I created the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint. Because that bundle specifically supports women. It's not a bunch of business hacks. It helps you rewire your entire body to feel safe receiving, being visible, and being valuable. And I'm talking about in intimacy and with your income. So if you have attachment style issues, those things get addressed in the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint. Because truthfully, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm just going to tell you, you're not going to like what I'm going to say. But if you're running around here as a 30 plus and you have done some form of work, therapy or whatever, and you out here saying that you have an attachment style, let me go ahead and tell you, and let me talk to the 20 somethings too with this. Do not, be very careful opening your mouth and saying, I am this attachment style, I am this, I am that. When you say I am, that is what you identify as. Again, I'm an energetics and identity mentor. What you identify with is what your identity is tied to. And your identity is tied to your beliefs. Your beliefs impact your biology, and your biology influences the way you behave. And a lot of y'all are out here saying that you're this and you're that, and you're acting according to that instead of actually solving the problem. Because I used to be, or used to have, an anxious attachment style. I don't have that anymore. The way that y'all will assign things to your life is if you have to live a life like that is insanity. You don't have, you know how you can come out of that? Recognizing, number one, that you are not to be attached to anything in this world, because everything in this world has an expiration date, and everything in this world is going to leave you, whether it is in life or it is in death. The problem is people don't want to deal with finality. I don't have a problem with finality, because finality is reality in all realities, no matter what you create. Loss is a part of every reality, even if you create a new one every single day you wake up. You need to understand and accept that there is pain associated with this life. There are situations that occur in this life. It's not about that. It's about how you handle yourself when these things come. Why are you shocked? Relationships end. People leave this earth. Are you honoring yourself in those experiences while they are in front of you? Because the reality is, when they leave you, you may never see them again. Why don't we want to live in reality? Why? Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes, these why? You don't want to deal with self, and then you trying to figure out why you struggle to receive. You don't want to live. You don't want to pick a reality to live in. You don't want to do it. The magnetic wealth blueprint will support you in that. You should not be attached to the things of this world. You're not supposed to. Not if you're saying you're a believer. And it's really, even if you ain't a believer, honestly, it's tricky to try to do that. Even if you don't believe nothing. Why are you out here getting attached to stuff you know die every day? Come on. Come on. You see that. People leave it every day, B. Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes, these. Like, come on. We have got to start thinking. We have got to start realizing that if you have these attachment issues cause you to be impulsive. It's your attachment that make you call and text 50 million times. And the crazy part about it is, you ain't even attached to the person. That's the thing. You're attached to an idea. A false reality that you've created, because what is being shown in front of you in the truth of the 3D earth, you will not accept it. You will not accept it. Thank you, my love. You will not accept it. Like they say, you ain't even got to lie to a lot of women. Women will lie to themselves. I'm so for real. Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes, and come. Like, come on. Are we serious? Are we for real? We're not. And that's the problem. You are attached to an idea. And if you get the magnetic wealth blueprint, yes, you can get it with client affirming afterpay. It's $200. You can get it. It's in there. Yes, it's going to help you face those attachment issues, because you're not supposed to be attached anyway. Why you keep having to heal after every experience? Because you're attaching yourself. Imagine running. I want you to get this in your mind. I want you to get a visual. See, I'm going to give you a visual. Because you need to see it. You need to see it. You need to feel it. You need to know. Imagine your favorite meal on the table when you get home, and you see it, and you run to the table like an animal, and you hop on the table and just start eating it like this, and you just keep eating, 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 and you just keep eating. See how I'm moving my hands like this, and I'm just... Imagine yourself doing that. That's what you do when you have an addiction and attachment to your food. That's what you do. That's how you are about meals. I got to eat right now. I got to have something sweet. I got to do this. I got to do this. No self-control, which is a fruit of the spirit. No self-control, which is a fruit of the spirit. None. You just. So I want you to think about that man. I want you to think about the man you love so much. I want you to think about how he's just this, and he's just that, and he's just this. And I want you to imagine yourself seeing him, and he's standing there, and every time, and when you see him, you running straight to him, and you hop on him like a Velcro child. And imagine being the Velcro child that is attached to him all day while he goes to work, and he goes to the bathroom, and he goes to try to get some fresh air, and he tries to go do this, and he tries to go do this. And here you are, just right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. Oh, trying to shave? You right here. Are y'all insane? Do you see? I need you to see it. I need you to see it. I need you to feel it. I need you to know. I need you to see it and feel it and know. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. I want you to think about money. This, all the money you can think about in the world. This is the last little visual I'm gonna give you. Just think about all the money in the world. Right, be wanting to live in his skin, baby. He will hate your guts. And be wondering why these folks hate your guts. That's why. They can't even take a piss without you. Without you right there. And y'all be whining, talking about you can't even go to the bathroom because your baby putting their hand under the door. But you the same baby under the door. You under that man door. You own him though. Imagine a bunch of money. I'm finna move on. Because I get mad at myself back when I was in. Because the visual should tear you up. And I'm for real. I want you to think about the money. A whole lot of money. I'm talking about the amount. Y'all be saying 6 figures. Why y'all be saying it? I do know why, but I ain't finna do it. I'm just not getting into it. Just think about a whole bunch of money. A whole bunch of money. And it's just there. And you see the money. And then here you go running to the money. It's the pile of money. It's the pile of money. And you standing there. I'm like, yes, hooray. It's the money. It's the money. It's the money. Somebody lights a fire. Next thing you know, you're surrounded in a circle of fire. It's you and the money. It's a bridge for you to walk over. And it's people telling you to come. Come, please come. And you like, but it's the money. It's the money. It's the money. Oh my God, it's the money. The fire's getting higher. It's the money. Burning the bridge. It's the money. It's burning up the bridge. You can't walk no more. It's the money. It's the money. You didn't die in the fire because of the money. That's what you look like, chasing money and not paying attention to what's valuable in your life because you chasing money. You're going to die for it. I don't know no other way to tell you. I don't know no other visual to give you. You're literally, this is what you're doing. I'm just telling you. Sometimes we need the visual. And I feel like y'all needed the visual today. Because the way y'all are like this with food, the way y'all are Velcro children on these men, the way that y'all are willing to go down for the money is crazy. When all you have to do is come into the fullness of yourself and take up space. That just sounds too much like right, though. That just sounds too much like right, though. Keep your attachments. I don't care. It's your life. I don't care. It's your life. I'm just here to tell you. I'm just here to show you so you can think about it. I mean, if you like it, I don't love it. And I wish you wouldn't want more of it, but hey. I'm going to get out your way because I don't argue with people's perception of self and how they want to live their lives. That's fine with me. Moving on to the law of rhythm and rest because I got to get out of there in a minute. Okay? So moving on to the law of rhythm and rest that y'all are in violation of. Okay? The 7th day is Sabbath. Do no work. Exodus 20:10, right? You call it hustle holy. But rest is literally a commandment. God didn't rest because he was tired. He rested because it was complete. Y'all don't know how to let the computer go. Y'all don't know how to let anything go. Y'all don't know how to sit still. And y'all still haven't even realized that your exhaustion is not proof of your excellence. It's proof that you're out of rhythm. You wonder why that womb not working right is coming from somebody who was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome in 2004 when nobody was talking about it. But I sit before you, 41, with no polycystic ovarian syndrome. You know, it's very interesting. I pay attention to the pattern from when I was 20 to where I'm 41 now. When I was 20, I was exhausted being everyone's person, being the oldest daughter, the first one to go to college, all this different stuff. I was so stressed. I ate my emotions because I lacked emotional management. I was extremely impulsive when it came down to meals, money, and men, so I couldn't keep any of those. So none of those things were really going to work out for me because I was so busy in my masculine doing. See me, please, please, please. I'm achieve. And I was invisible. And I was sick. And my womb was out of whack. And I was working myself into manhood because I started developing a beard. Okay? See, when you work against your feminine design, sweetheart, by not only violating the law of design, your design, by not only violating the law of agreement, by not only violating those things, but by violating the law of rhythm and rest, because it's lazy for me to lay down. Why would I sit down? I gotta be doing something. They need me. I need this. I have to do this. I have to do that. All of those things in violation. Feeling guilty if I rest. Feeling like I'm unachieved, feeling like I'm not worthy, feeling all these different type of things that are not true. Pushing myself further and further and further and further away from my authentic feminine design. Womb not working. Womb not working, and I'm not creative. And I've been creative since I was in the 3rd grade. Been writing poetry since the 3rd grade. Published poet at 17. Writing has always been my way out. Words have always been my way out. And I got to a point to where I worked myself into a space where I no longer was the wordsmith that I was created to be. I began to say I'm not creative anymore. Because I wasn't, and I couldn't create. I could not create. There's a connection between your hypothalamus, your pituitary gland, and your ovaries. And if you know how to use it during a specific phase of your cycle, you can use it to enhance your creativity, which can enhance your cash flow. This is something that I teach my clients how to do. But because I was so disconnected from my core, I could not create, and I could not create. And that is an issue because I was in violation of the law of rhythm and rest. I was violating myself. If you know you need to slow down, but you still want to stay in the work space of working on self, but you know you need to slow down. One of my clients in the Sacred Feminine League just said this the other day. She said, I needed to slow down a bit to really take in everything that I'm receiving in this community so that I can truly create from a free space, is what she is wanting and what she is desiring. And she is correct. If that is a space that you need, then you might want to come into the Sacred Feminine League. The Sacred Feminine League is a monthly membership that we have. It's $197. You get 2 videos drops every month. You get 2 live sessions with me. Okay? It's no commitment. $197 a month. You can cancel at any time. It's no performance. It's no pressure. It's just depth. It's practice. It's putting these things into place, and it's quiet power. It's a beautiful community of women. So come on in. You can click the link in the bio and get access if you want to come on in. So if you're waiting for the perfect time, though, because some people are on this too, because I'm about to get into this next law you violating. If you're looking for the perfect time, or let's just say this, you're looking for the perfect timing, but what you need to realize is that divine timing does not run on your calendar. It runs on Kairos time. And I've talked about how you're made up of 2 elements of time, Kairos time and Chronos time. If you want more information about time and the aspect of time, then you might want to sign up for the red knowledge tree. But Chronos time is your chronological time. Kairos time is your seasons, your ups, your downs, your ebbs, your flows, your highs, your lows, all of those things. Divine timing runs on Kairos time, and Kairos time is sacred. It's sacred interruption. It doesn't ask if you are ready. It asks, will you respond? See, Kairos time is the season. See, death happens in Kairos time. Death doesn't ask you for permission to take somebody you love. Do you understand? The season, the cycle is up. And that is Kairos time. So y'all don't understand. Y'all so busy focused on Chronos time. I'm running out of time. I need to get married. I need to do this because I'm running out of time. You so focused on Chronos time, which is what society tricked you into believing, when the reality is you are a cyclical being. You run on the cycle as a woman, and you should have been paying attention to Kairos time, because as women, we are seasonal. Which is why we have 4 phases of our cycles. Which is why we can be up and down in emotions. And we are the season, sweetheart. We are winter, spring, summer, and fall. When you understand that, and you understand season cycles, you understand time. And when you understand the value of time, and you understand when time is up. And a lot of you are not paying attention to Kairos time. And that's the time that really you on. That's what's now. The season you in right now is Kairos. But you are focused on, I gotta do this by this age. I gotta do this by this time. Kairos time, like I said, is sacred interruption. It doesn't ask if you are ready. It asks will you respond. So let's get into the law of Kairos time. You think you're being wise by waiting. But the more you delay, the more you teach your body that delay is safety, until you can't even feel the moment anymore that you need to move. So you will normalize your moments being missed. Oh, I always miss that. Oh, I almost this. No, you're not ready. You weren't ready. You weren't ready. See, Kairos time is always, it's on the assignment that it needs to be on. You were not on your mark when they said get ready and go. And that's the problem. That's the issue at hand. So because you weren't on your mark, sweetheart, you were in violation. And it literally tells you in Ephesians 5:16 to make most of every opportunity. Kairos, that's what we're speaking about, Kairos time. Make use of every opportunity because days are evil. Ephesians 5:16. Listen, you have to pay attention, and you're not paying attention. And that's the problem. Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes, and these comments. So let's stop pretending. Let's stop pretending, guys. Because it's a lot of violations going on. Let's stop pretending. Because if you don't shift this right now, here's what you're going to lose. Let's just get straight into it. The voice that keeps being muted, the business that stays small, the legacy that dies in delay, and the self you were before you were needed. All those things that you are going to. Let's get into the last law, which is the law of stewardship. To whom much is given, much is required. Everyone hears it, but it's basically Luke 12:48. Your gifts are not optional. Hello. They're not optional, sweetheart. Your clarity isn't casual, and every time you minimize those things to stay safe, to stay small, so that you are palatable, so that you are digestible, so that people receive you, you are mismanaging literally what was given to you from the Creator. How dare you come to this life and not activate your gifts? Are y'all insane? Y'all be talking about y'all so scared of going to hell. I can't tell. I can't tell because you won't even activate your gifts. You understand to sin means to miss the mark? If you don't complete the assignment, you miss the mark, sweetie. It was not clicking. What's not clicking? To whom much is given, much is required. You are violating the law of stewardship. You're not stewarding well. Your time, your energy, your attention, your money, or your beauty. Hello, that's a currency. And if you don't believe me, go back. I write about that in the seduction series in the red letters, which is the paid version for the founding members that sign up for my Substack. I break that down specifically. Because I talk about the currency of beauty, and I talk about Esther specifically, and I talk about the beauty routines and the things that she had to go. I talk about those things. Beauty is currency, sweetie. Society has flipped it into and called it pretty privilege. And in people, there's a very dark side of that aspect. But beauty is currency, sweetheart. Better learn how to activate it. The only thing about beauty is that when I say activated, I'm not talking about the external. It's easy to make yourself up. And let me tell you something about makeup if we really want to get into it. Makeup was something that was taught by the fallen angels. It's another article that I wrote on where I speak on that in the seduction series. What the fallen angels are still literally teaching women. But the thing is, or have taught women, makeup basically was taught as a form of illusion and, to be able to enhance. So it means nothing to be able to create an illusion. Anybody can do that. And if you really want to get into it, it's just illusion work. So anyone can create an illusion if we want to tell the truth. But beauty activation starts here. It starts here. Beauty activation doesn't start with illusions. Illusions have nothing to do with beauty. Illusions are not currency. So, get into it. You are called to steward these things. Steward your time. Steward your energy. Steward your attention. Steward your money. Steward your beauty. Tells you to take care of yourself in scripture, to take care of your temple. Why? Because if this is a place that the Holy Spirit is going to dwell, it is a place of worship. Why do you treat yourself so poorly? Why do you treat yourself so poorly? You don't manage self well. Like I said, these are the 5 laws that you are in violation of when you are not taking up space, when you are not doing the things that you need to do. And if you've been watching and you've been nodding and you've been like, yeah, she got some points, this is true, and you still unsure where to begin, then stay here. Click the link in my bio and sign up for the Red Knowledge Tree. The Red Knowledge Tree is where I talk about sacred feminine teachings about divine strategy. And then also I speak specifically around feminine power and emotional alignment and all of the things that are very, very important going forward in this life. You have the option to have the free option where I drop a couple of articles. You have the option to be able to get the paid option. I have a monthly option. You can get it for $22. And what you're going to get is you're going to get the awareness articles that everyone gets, but then you're going to get the depth, and then you're going to get the solution of how you can implement this into your life. So if you come in and you decide, okay, I want to get this, you'll start getting into the paid series. The first aspect of the paid series that you're going to get is you're going to learn deeper what I talked about when I talked about time. You're about to learn the difference between time. You're going to understand why they call it Father Time and why it's Mother Earth. You're going to understand that you have 2 clocks, a sun clock and a moon clock. You're going to understand where these things come from so you can start leaning into the time that you're supposed to lean into as a woman. Because Chronos time is linear and it is important, but the cyclical time that you are not paying attention to is the heart of it. It's the moon. Your circadian rhythm clock that everyone has, men and women, that's the sun. Charging all your organs every couple of hours. Everything I teach you is rooted in scripture, backed up by science, and backed up by psychology. I'm a believer. I don't call myself a Christian. The reason why I don't call myself a Christian is due to the research and a lot of things that I have learned in regard to Christianity. And no, it does not really have to do with the whole them whitewashing and all this different stuff. It's not that. I encourage everyone to be very careful what they label themselves up as, because if we want to be honest, Christ, Yeshua, if Yeshua was walking today, Yeshua would want nothing to do with said Christianity, because it lives and it operates extremely different than the way that the Messiah operated. And if we are called to live like the Messiah, then why aren't we operating in the ways the Messiah operated? Why are things twisted? Why have things been taken out? Why have things been altered in such a way? So, yeah. And if you want to know the main book that I read the oldest one. So let me show it to you. It's one of my favorite things to show off. I read the Ethiopian Bible. I get to the root of the truth. How you going to take something out? Who told you to do that? Who told y'all to take it out? I'm just saying. Okay? So yes, I am a believer. That's what I am. I believe the Messiah came, died. I believe all those great things. I ain't a Christian, no. Absolutely not. Okay? So, in the red knowledge tree, like I said, when you first come in, if you get the paid version, you get the currencies where I break them all down. I break down the time currency first. Next, I'm breaking down beauty currency, which that's going to be released. Then energy currency, attention currency, money currency, all of these things. And what you're going to get is you're going to get the awareness. You're going to get the depth of where this come from. So I'm going to show you the scriptural root. One thing about me, I'm not going to tell you something that you can't go look up for yourself. That's really big for me. One huge role when it comes down to my assignment and what I'm supposed to do, I have spiritual ethics and I have instructions, and I ain't finna play with nobody's soul, because I already see how these systems have done all of that, and I'm already knowing the consequences that are going to come from those things. So I encourage you, even when you step into spaces to work with me, when I say go and look these things up for yourself, go do that for your own sanity. Don't lean to my understanding. Always lean to the Most High's understanding, because I'm never leaning to my own understanding. Lean to the Most High's understanding. This is why it says in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, which is something I live by. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. Acknowledge the Most High in all of your ways. The Most High will direct your path. That is literally how I've been able to create my business, lose 100 pounds, help women all over the world, do all these things. It is obedience. It is nothing else. It is nothing else. I wish I could tell you I had a magic trick. I ain't got none. The only way out of the matrix is to choose to submit to the one who created all things. That is the solution that I have found. The only one that has worked, and I've tried many. So I'm speaking more so in the red knowledge tree, in those paid letters, like breaking down the depth and then breaking down how you can implement these things into your life to actually change your life. So if you have an issue or the myth of time management, you don't have a time issue. You don't understand time. And when you understand time, you'll know how to steward time. You don't have an energy issue with boundaries. You don't understand the power of your energy. You don't understand energetics. Okay, and because of that, I'm going to break that down in the red letters. So if you sign up for the red knowledge tree, you'll get the free letters that come out. But if you get the paid version, you get the red letters. And that is where the real strategy is. That is where it is. Because I'm in a season now where I'm doing a lot more writing about the knowledge that I know, because I'm being asked. I'm being asked. And I have a responsibility to break these things down. But I can't do it on TikTok, because I can't say this stuff on TikTok, y'all. They ain't finna ban. I can't say it on TikTok because they're gonna ban me, but I can write it. You can read it. You can go research it for yourself. You can go do all of those things. If you get the founding package, which is like $250, you get it for the entire year. That comes with the seduction series. Now the seduction series, let me tell you what the seduction series, why it's so powerful, what it's gonna do if you go and you get it. When you sign up for the Red Knowledge Tree and you get the founding members package, which is $250, if you do that, you get the seduction series. And women are the easiest to seduce in the world. As much as women think that men are the easiest, women are the easiest to seduce and exploit in society. Okay? What I'm breaking down in that seduction series is how you are being exploited. Okay? Where it came from spiritually, because I'm breaking down the fallen angels and I'm going straight into it, and I'm talking about the real truth about the watchers and what happened in scripture and how Noah's flood even came to be, because the water had to be that high. What? To get rid of the Nephilim. Who were the Nephilim? The Nephilim were the sons, and I don't know if it's some daughters, but I'm still researching it, but the sons of the fallen angels and the human women that created them. And I'm breaking down how the Watchers came to earth and what they taught and how they seduced women and how it all started. I'm talking about how it all started. And then I'm also telling you at the end how to protect your light in a world that is obsessed with it. So that seduction series, when I'm not even, and y'all know, I'm not even kidding. Like, I let my sister and then read. It was like, oh my God, this is the one. It's going to allow you to be in a space to never be seduced again. You're never going to be in a space where you can't see again. And you don't know how to protect your light again. Because you are charged to guard your heart above everything else, because from it flows life. A man is not in charge of guarding your heart. He's in charge of guarding his. And see, men do that well. But it's us that struggle to guard our hearts. And that seduction series is going to support you in guarding your heart. Okay? And you only get the seduction series, though, with the founding members rate. So you can get it at $22 a month. You can get $222 for the entire year. That's just the regular rate. But if you get the founders rate at $250, you get that series immediately. The first thing you're going to see is that seduction series. It's about 5 letters. And everything that I've written, it's written from a place of true, authentic love from me, which is why everything is in red. Because red is a powerful color. Red is normally what is used to seduce. And I want you to come back into the space of, if you're going to be seduced by anything, seduce yourself with the truth of who you are and whose you are and how you operate. Learn the truth about the different, how can I say this? Learn the difference in how to activate not erotic performance as a woman, but erotic intelligence as a woman. Because erotic intelligence is different. Erotic, and I break all of this down in these series. So if you're interested in learning more and knowing more and really implementing things in your life and having an easier way to implement things in your life, then you want to sign up for the Red Knowledge Tree and get the paid letters. Get the paid version, whether it's $22 a month, the $222 a year, and you have it for the entire year, or the $250 with the founders, and you get the seduction series immediately. But get in a room. Get in one of these rooms, whether it's the Red Knowledge Tree, come under the tree, come into the Sacred Feminine League. You can come for $197 a month, or come into the Muse Activator, and that is an 8-week experience. That is $2,000. Now let me tell you something about the Muse Activator. I'm only going to run 2 more runs of the Muse Activator this year. I'm only running 2 more runs of the Muse Activator this year. A lot of stuff is shifting, and I'm telling you, I'm only running 2 more runs of that, and then I'm moving into a different space. So you got to catch me on Substack. You need to catch me in the Sacred Feminine League, or catch me in the Muse Activator right now, because there are a lot of things that are happening. I'm preparing my communities. I'm getting them together. Come and get in the room, okay? What questions do you guys have for me? You can access all of these things by clicking the link in the bio, okay? What questions do you guys have? I'm going to take a few questions because I've got to go in a little bit. So it's literally going to be a few questions because I got to go do something for my mama. So that's priority. So let's go ahead and drop those questions if you have any. If you don't have any, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go so I can get on out of here. Because, yeah, and I'm hungry too. So I got to figure all that out. Yeah, you're on Substack. I'll definitely check you out. Yes, come on over to Substack. I love Substack. And somebody had been telling me I need to get on Substack. It's like, you need to get on Substack. You write, your words. You really need to get on Substack. I was like, oh, yeah, all right, that's Substack. But I absolutely love it. It brought me back to my writing days. And I had been kind of asking to get back to the point of not as much speaking, but writing. Because ultimately... And I'm telling you this. If you want to work with me in a Muse Activator or any of these communities, do it now, because in a minute, I'm only going to be writing, speaking in spaces that I am called into, and teaching in communities that I lead. So I'm telling you right now, move your feet or lose your seat. How do you discern what's true as far as personality and not trauma that's showing up? Is personality different from identity? Yeah, identity and personality are not the same thing. And how do you discern? You ask your creator. It tells you in James that if you ask the creator for anything in true humility, if you are really asking from a space of understanding that 1, I know you have the answer. 2, I know you're going to give me the answer. And 3, when you give me the answer, I'm going to activate and move in the way I need to that honors the fact that you gave me this answer. See, if you ain't willing to do that, don't even ask. But if you're coming before and you're asking in that energy, the Most High is going to allow things to be revealed to you. When these things get revealed to you, then you have a decision to make, whether or not you're going to obey said requests, or, if you're going to move now that you have clarity and all of those things, if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. Is him hiding the same as lying, like half-truths? When you are dealing in relationship with other people, nobody's going to tell you everything. I'm going to say that right now. Like, nobody tells anybody everything. But if a person is not telling you something that you need to know, and the person is aware that that is something that you need to know, then that person is saying, it appears or it sounds like, based on what you're asking, that person may be being deceitful. There's a difference between being deceitful and being a liar. To lie. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people get that confused. Some people will say, you lied to me. They didn't necessarily lie. They did deceive you. They can deceive you by omitting truth. And, it's a whole bunch of different ways that you can be deceived. So you then, when you realize that a person is deceiving you, you have to ask yourself in that experience, do I want to deal with a deceptive person? Then you have a decision to make. When you have clarity on certain things, like when you figure out who somebody is, or you realize that these things come to you, those things are considered clarity. And once you have clarity, you need to understand that clarity is not there to give you peace. I don't know who told y'all that. Jesus, Lord. I don't even say Jesus, but Lord. Clarity does not bring peace, guys. Clarity is command. Clarity requires you to make a decision. Once you're clear, you gotta move. You gotta move. She said, just got my answer. Thank you, Most High. All praises to the Most High. Girl, Most High be telling me folks' business. I be like, please. But, like, once you realize and you have clarity, you are commanded to move. You're welcome, love. All praise to the Most High. Once you're clear on something, you are commanded to move. That's why a lot of women don't like finality, because a lot of women really don't want to move. Because then it forces you to deal with self. It forces you to deal with self. And for those who don't want to deal with self, they just go deal with somebody else because they think the other person is the problem. Yet you always meet yourself. So when you are met with clarity, clarity commands you to make a decision. And when you don't make a decision in that clarity, you are now confusing yourself, and you are now volunteering for an experience. And however that person responds to you with that experience is an energetic match to the fact that you are not concerned about yourself. Because if you're not concerned about yourself after you receive the clarity that you needed so bad, and you don't make a decision and move, I ain't gonna say nothing about this person continuing to kick you, because you are sitting in that spot. You are committed to staying there. You are participating in that experience. And I'm not here to argue with the fact that you want to participate in an experience that doesn't serve you. It's gonna make me sad, but I'm not gonna argue with that. I'm just not. Learn to not argue with people's perception of self and their own reality, especially if they continue to choose that. Stop trying to convince people that they're beautiful that keep saying that they're ugly. Okay, you got it. You can tell them God said they're beautiful. You can say they're beautiful. 100 people can say they're beautiful, but they ain't gonna never forget how old boys said they were so ugly and they whatever. You can't compete and compare to the value that person has with that person's voice. That person's voice is so valuable. It is so loud in their mind that it controls them to believe something that ain't even real. And y'all be talking about witchcraft. Don't piss me off. Like, you put witchcraft on yourself, a lot of y'all. Because witchcraft is nothing but the manipulation of the energetics around your beliefs. Modern day sorcery, sweetheart. Okay? Yes, it will. All right, y'all. I'm not seeing any other questions. I'm about to get off here. Click the link in the bio to get access to any of my products and my services. If you need the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint to deal with your attachment issues, you can get it with Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay. It is, I can't even think. It's $200. If you're struggling with monetization, the aligned monetization path for you, then you can check out Monetize Like a Muse. Monetize Like a Muse is $4.97. You get that with Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay, and you get 7 days to work with me. So this is for you if you were making money or making money in a way that is not aligned with you and you really need to get yourself together. I'm showing you that imposter syndrome is not real. There's a $10,000 bot that I created in there that teaches you what is your skill sets, what are your monetization streams that can support you in going from $10,000 to $100,000 in quantum jumping, okay? So you have something, you have access to a bot that supports you with that, and I give you my strategy on literally how to make this 6 figures for yourself. So if you have not done that, I break down everything. You have no excuses. Don't get on my nerves, okay? I don't want to hear it. And you get me for 7 days. So I'm directly in your business. I'm in your business, okay? Because I need you to have a result. One aspect of me is very results driven, which is how I was able to lose 100 pounds, how I was able to create my business, how my clients get the results they get. I'm in your business, okay? Because I want you to win. Don't tell me you want to win and come over here to the winning team. Don't make me mad and then try to lose. Try to self-sabotage. I'm not having it. I remove mental blocks for a living. You can't come over here and give me no excuses. I'm going to tell you how to get out of it in 2.5 seconds. I don't care. Gifts from the Most High. I'm grateful. So come on over here. Get your stuff together. If you need to come into Monetize Like a Muse, 7 days, you'll have me. What else is up there? Then my private offer. I have a private offer, but my private offer is 5 figures, and you have to apply for that. And that is for women who are in corporate and different things like that, and women who understand that space and they need to ascend. And then I also have the Muse Activator that's sitting up there, and anything else, and then the Red Knowledge Tree, where if you get the paid membership, you get the red letters. But the founding members, the ones that's getting that seduction series, that's tea, beloved. Trust me when I tell you, because they are talking about it, okay? They was like, I didn't even realize this. All this time I've been allowing myself to get suckered. You will not be sitting right here talking about you can attract the narcissist. You will see that coming a long time. You will see it. Because you should see it now, but you don't, and I understand. But you're going to see it when you read that series, though. So go on over there, okay? Go on over there and sign up. Get yourself together. Read on. Drop some comments. And I hope that y'all have a great day, because I'm about to go. She said about to buy the Ethiopian Bible. Yes, go ahead and buy it. Buy it, baby. Everybody should have a physical copy. In my personal opinion, buy it before you can't find it. Because in a while, buy it. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm about to go. I hope y'all have an amazing day. DM me if you have any questions in regard to any products or services. Don't DM me no stories and what you got going on. I'm not going to address it because I probably got something that can help you. Click the link in my bio. Okay. But I love y'all to pieces. I hope y'all having a great day.